Let's be real, we're all kind of drowning in text, aren't we? Emails, articles, reports, it just never seems to end. But what if? What if the very technology that's causing this information overload was also the key to mastering it? Well, in this explainer, we're gonna dive in and find out exactly how. I mean, does this feel familiar to you? Your inbox is just overflowing. You've got a dozen articles saved to that infamous read later list, which, let's be honest, is more like read never. And that big report for work, yeah, it's not gonna read itself. It can really feel like you're just constantly playing catch up. And here's the crazy part. It's not just a feeling, it's a fact. Think about this. We process more information in a single day than people did in an entire lifetime just a few hundred years ago. Our brains they weren't built for this kind of onslaught. So that's exactly why we've got to evolve how we process all of it. So the big question is, how do we adapt? Well, let's jump right into our first section and look at how the source of this whole problem, technology, is also kind of ironically our most powerful solution. Okay, so the core idea here is actually pretty simple. This isn't about some kind of magic trick. It's all about using digital tools to train our brains and guide our eyes, basically to help us get past those bad habits we all picked up as kids. You know, things like subvocalization, that's that little voice you hear in your head when you read, and regression, which is when your eyes instinctively jump back over words you've already seen. These tools help us cut that stuff out. So let's just put them side by side. With traditional reading, what happens? Our minds wander, our eyes get tired from all that scanning back and forth. But now look at the tech-aided side. These tools force us to focus, they get rid of all that wasted eye movement, and they systematically boost our speed. The difference really is night and day. All right, so what does this actually look like in practice? Let's take a quick tour of the two main kinds of digital tools that you can start playing with like right now. First up, we have something called RSVP. And yeah, I know, it sounds super technical. It stands for Rapid Serial Visual Presentation, but trust me, the idea is so simple. Instead of your eyes moving across a page, the words move for you. They flash one by one in the exact same spot. What does that do? It completely gets rid of all the time your brain wastes just physically moving your eyes from word to word. So what makes this so effective? Well, two big reasons. First, the words pop up so fast that your brain literally doesn't have time to say them in your head. So boom, that cuts way down on subvocalization. And second, it forces all of your attention onto one single spot on the screen. It's an amazing way to just block out distractions. Okay, the second main category is what we call guided readers or pacers. Now, if that RSVP method sounds a little, intense for you, this might be your perfect starting point. The best way to think about it is like a personal trainer, but for your eyes. You'll see a digital pointer or a highlight that just glides across the text, setting the speed and training your eyes to follow along smoothly. This is huge for stopping you from rereading stuff you've already seen. And the big win with these tools, it's all about control and flexibility. You get to set the speed to whatever feels comfortable, and then you can slowly dial it up as you get better. Plus, these things are super versatile. They often come as simple browser extensions or apps that can work with pretty much anything. News articles, documents, even ebooks. All right, enough of the theory, let's get to the fun part. The practical side. How do you actually get started and, see some results? Let's walk through what your very first session could look like. And the best part is, you really don't need to be some kind of tech wizard to do this. It's way easier than you think. We can break it down into just 3 super simple, totally manageable steps to get you up and running. So here's the game plan. Step 1, choose your tool. Are you gonna go for that intense RSVP method or the smoother guidance of a pacer? Step 2, find your baseline. Just take a quick words per minute test online. No judgment here, it's just about getting a starting number. And finally, step 3, just start with a short session. We're talking 5, maybe 10 minutes. The goal here is just being consistent, not going crazy on day 1. Okay, so where does all this lead? In this final section, let's zoom out and connect this new skill back to the really big picture. What mastering all this information can actually mean for you and your future. And this really brings us to the most important point of all, because the ability to read faster, it's not really about finishing more books. It's about gaining more time to think about what you've read. Just imagine, you finish your morning news roundup in 10 minutes instead of 30. That's 20 extra minutes you just got back in your day to brainstorm that big project, or just think. It's about clawing back that precious time so you can reinvest it in what really matters, understanding things, connecting ideas, and actually thinking deeply. So I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Just imagine having the power to absorb new skills, to stay completely on top of your industry, or to finally make a dent in that reading list. If you could learn anything faster, what would you choose to master first? The possibilities, well, they're all yours.